Innovation is really necessary for the NHS, especially at the moment, because we're facing a number of really big challenges. And in order to move us from where we are, which is pretty good, but to where we need to be both in quality, patient experience and cost terms, we need to do something a bit more radical than we are now. The Institute looked at the relevant literature and identified that there are 7 dimensions that occur frequently when you're talking about innovation and enabling innovation. We've created from those 7 dimensions an assessment tool that can be used in a number of different ways. So this tool comes as a web-based version where lots of people, up to 4,000 healthcare staff, could use the assessment tool, to a version that you could use with a group of 4 or 5 people in a team. What happens with those results is they point to where the organisation is doing well, so where people feel they're very well supported or where they feel less supported. And this enables leaders in the organisation to grow and build on what's already happening well, but also to identify and understand those areas that are not so supportive. We have a set of guidance which has got some tips for each of the 7 dimensions, so some examples of what other healthcare services have done, or equally some people from outside of healthcare service. When you walk into an innovative organisation, it can immediately look and feel a bit different. Often you see a lot of examples of where activity, testing new ideas is going on, and that activity is very focused on the strategic goals of the organisation. Equally, there's a lot of interest in risk-taking, which is one of the core dimensions. Now, risk-taking is often felt to be quite awkward when you're thinking about safety and health, but actually what we would suggest is we do take risk-taking seriously, and a key element of that is assessing risk. The Plan, Do, Study, Act cycle, for example, is a well-used improvement tool that can help us mitigate against risk, because we use small-scale tests and then we review what we've done and look at risk and advantages at each stage.
Which everybody is familiar with.
One of the fundamental aspects to consider when thinking about innovation is that of teams. Teams are critically important, and we can look at this in 2 different ways. One, the fact that teams feel able to contribute. Every input is honoured. They feel that they've got something to give as well as something to learn from that team. Another important aspect is that of diversity within teams, so that we're not all thinking in the same way at the same time. Some organisations, such as Northampton NHS Trust, have thought about this diversity really closely, and in their improvement and innovation team they have 3 members with really fantastic healthcare experience and 3 members of the team who've come from outside health, so that they can input new and fresh ideas and challenge some of the current thinking.
When I see Nicola.
Senior leaders recognise that innovation is really important for the future of the NHS, but a question they often ask me is, what do I do on Monday morning? I'd urge every senior leader to use the Culture for Innovation tool. It is a tool that's going to help them to understand how their staff feel supported or unsupported in their ability to be innovative. It's critical for the NHS.